Jeremy Winger summarizing the November 25th TRT report. As always, it's a great pleasure to be here just to go through the overall action in the world rice trade, to talk about what we see happening in the market, key variables, big macro variables, micro trades like vessels, and just to overall give our clients a better understanding from our view of what's happening in the market. And for surely it is a vault market. The prices are not directly down. They're not directly up. They're definitely trending down. But the question is, where are we going to be? And that's, I think, where the key start of this week was. Prices are largely up. I would say overall about $15 on average. Thailand was up $20 to $500 a ton. Vietnam at 530, very, very high, which I'll get into in a second. Pakistan was up 20 to 460, and India was even up 15 to 445. And again, then you just get to the other players who are minor. What's interesting is the U.S. is still at 800, but Uruguay's now dropped down to $700 a ton, so it's $100 cheaper than the U.S. Market. So, saying this, there's a couple of things that we'll definitely talk about, which is the spreads and also the quoted market versus the real market. I've seen, and I put in the rice trader, Vietnam was traded as low as 450, 460 in certain trades. So you're talking about an $80 reduction from posted trade to real trade. Pakistan, $20, $30 lower than the posted number. India, same thing, $20, $30 on people that really wanted to get the business flowing and going. And so posted offers versus tradable offers, it's always a negotiation. The market is what a trade can happen at that point, and that's what we see is that you can want to trade. The posted price is this, but if you really have to trade in a market like this, with you're moving into the holiday season, things are logistically tighter. There's some shorts on Bulog in the market, shorts in the Philippine market. The market is telling you I'm a little stuffed in the short term, but long term I'm going lower. And so this natural jump before holidays is pretty expected, but the fall off is coming. And every trader I talked to this week, it says new crop's coming, new year it's going to be much lower. People are just fighting over covering and trying to get stuff in before Christmas and supplies and different things like this. Now, that kind of takes us back to India. India remains the big item. In fact, so much so that I would compare India to the U.S. India at roughly 450 and the U.S. at 800. There's a $350 per ton difference. Never seen it before in history. Never seen anything like it. I would expect Latin America will turn into a Asian dominated market if this continues. The price spread is just so different, and there is cooking quality that compares to the U.S. and patty from South America, patty even from Asia, that can come, to say the least, to come to this market. Soft cooking quality, hard cooking quality, just depending on what the market wants. And the U.S. continues to struggle. They call it the worst crop in 20 years. The very much bringing in transit, low head and total. The patty value for what people are getting is not great. And a lot of customer complaints. Just from what I understand from Genesis, is the current varieties have taken out the fissure resistant gene, and therefore, unlike Asian rice, which has a very fissure resistant gene in most varieties, the U.S. hybrid variety doesn't, and now is suffering from it. So you have low quality, high price. You're going to lose market share. It's going to lose to Asia. And then India, again, as we've said it over and over, they're getting started with this open trade, trying to get in Africa, trying to get even the Philippines, which I haven't seen much, if any, buying from the Philippines yet. Just the quality issue and the past concerns. I have seen Pakistan make some pretty good sales into the Vietnamese, excuse me, the Philippine market in the last few weeks. And the Vietnamese are suffering. At 530, it's tough to trade when somebody's willing to trade at 440. And so, DT8 sales will, of course, occur for people who are high quality buyers. But, I said it many times, Vietnam used to not be as high quality, and it took a major $50 a ton price decrease, and other players just took over. And that's what I see happening is the Vietnamese won't be able to catch. They don't have a great crop. They're going to be importing from India and Cambodia. The one area that's going to suffer a bit. The Thais have a good crop, not a great crop, but India and Pakistan has amazing great crop, and they're just going to dominate this market. And that's kind of what we see. If I get into some smaller points, I would say there's a lack of demand. Iraq is buying less, high stock to use. China is buying much less than prior years. Yes, they're buying brokens, but the total amount is not great. If they make 1.5 million, that would be considered a good year when they're going to export close to two. Uh, Bangladesh, of course, the Bangladesh tender, the low stocks in Bangladesh, it's a thing to watch. It's not huge. Anything I'd watch Bulag, and the fact that the president has taken back Bulag, that the tenders have been very highly illogical, manipulated in the last year, very odd, and that this is being seen of why did this go down? Why didn't you just wait, just buy just in time? Why would you buy Indian prices $80 a ton better, $50 a ton higher than you could have gotten? Just a lot of weird tender stuff that it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think the Bulog talk that they're not going to buy next year while saying we're trying to do a 1 million ton MOU with India, all these things coming together to the head of, guys are short covering on Bulog, but then now what? If they're done, that's a big hole, to say the least, in the region. That just kind of leaves you the Philippines and a few other small players. And so the wheat, corn, and soybeans so cheap, it's hard to go buy demand unless you just drop so far. And that's what I would say. There's going to probably building of stocks, and if the price stays relatively high through February, March, you're going to get up another big global rice crop that adds into the stock to use stock level as we did this year. So I think those are the key points. I don't have a world conference or another conference to announce as of yet. I think like many in the industry, I'm moving into a holiday mode personally. Next week is, of course, off week. It's the Thanksgiving week here, though we still be doing the daily, several most days, and other things. And so just all positive in every way. So we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. If there is a major update, we will put out a flash as always. And we just thank you, our clients. With that, this is Jeremy Zwinger signing out. I look forward to talking to you in a few weeks, and always here to help our clients.